Well, I've been thinking about chickens. I know that sounds a little strange, but I have tried to come up with a way to uh, have a chicken trap that doesn't kill the chickens all at once and collects the eggs at the same time. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've actually had some people ask me to go ahead and put together a little tutorial about how to put this chicken strainer together. I call it a chicken strainer because I am able to strain the chickens out, and instead of killing all the chickens at once, taking a few at a time, and that way you can still collect the eggs and put the eggs back in, and that way the chickens continue to produce the eggs, so it continues to make more chickens. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about and what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be going out of my castle. We're playing on the SMP server here at the house, and going to be going over to somebody else's house here to build this because I've already got my chicken strainer. So we'll go over this way. I think I'm going to be using it and probably be making it out of wood. The first one that I did, I made it out of sandstone, and it worked pretty well. But I think I'm going to try to do it just a little bit different. Change the design a little bit. There's a couple things that I think I could probably do a little bit better, and hopefully it'll turn out the way I want it. So I will be back in just a minute. Okay, so we have a start here. The outline, at least on the inside, is a 5x7. So this is the kind of the first floor of the strainer. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. And in the middle, we're going to have the hole that will allow the chickens to fall through. And basically this works on the principle that chickens float. So we're going to have water here as well, because the chickens will float on top of the water and they will not fall down through the hole. However, we need to have a way to get them through the hole. And originally I thought about doing this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, sorry about that. Okay, so here's our hole in the middle. So originally I thought about cutting the water supply so chickens would fall down, but they just, when there's so many chickens in here, they crowd around this middle, and when the water's cut, they just all come pouring out really fast, and it isn't a very good way of, if you just want, to kill a few chickens and collect a little bit of meat and some feathers, and yet not kill everything so that your egg production continues. That just was not a very good way of doing it, cutting all the water. I also considered, and I'm going to go ahead and start building the walls here. I'd also considered making the strainer on the principle that shifting blocks. So you have a row of pistons on one side and a row of pistons on the other side, and there's a gap, 1 block gap on each, well, I guess I'd be on one side of the pistons, and when the blocks move, it will allow mobs to fall down. But that was not working very well. I tried that, and there was just a tremendous amount of chickens that were suffocating. And while it worked, it killed too many chickens, and then I didn't get the experience points too. So not that chickens give us a whole lot of experience points, but I thought I might as well go ahead and get the experience points along with the feathers and the meat. So this is what I've come up with, and I think it works pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and build this up a little more, and I actually need to run back. I need to get some pistons as well. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have my pistons, and I'm ready to start placing this, and then we'll wire it. So first of all, we need a sticky piston. Up here, there's our hole. We're going to stick it up here. And just a regular piston. Okay, so what's going to happen is these two pistons are going to fire, push down the chickens, which are going to be here in the middle, and it will work so that it pushes just a few chickens down at a time. It has to be 2 blocks high here, because if you don't have it 2 blocks high, if you just have it 1 block high, and you'd have just one piston here, what happens is the water's here, the chickens can't really get underneath that piston, and they start bunching up, and then when you do fire it, they seem to take suffocation damage, and while it does kill them, it doesn't do a whole lot of good in terms of being able to get the experience from the chickens too. So, alright, well, I am gonna hop up on top here and we'll start the wiring here. I'll be back just a second. Okay, so here's the 2 pistons we just placed. I've got this laid out now with the boards that I'm going to use to wire it. Here's our button we're going to use just to test it to make sure that it works. So the way we do this is okay, so we're going to put a repeater down here on full delay, then put the redstone wire in over here, which will take us to this piston, and a full delay on that one as well. Okay, over here, run it here, one more repeater here, 1 tick on that, and up to the top piston. Then, last but not least, we need to run 1 wire down there. Okay? So, full delay, 4, 4, 1, and hopefully it'll work. Let's check it out here. Okay. A little hard to see. Yep. Okay, that's what we want. So, now all we have to do, we got to put our water in down below. I'm probably going to go ahead and finish this off and build it up so we don't have just wiring on top. Then also I need to run this down to the bottom so that we can activate it from the bottom as well. So let me do a little more work here and we'll be back in a second. Alright, I have the room enclosed now, so one more time, this is the wiring. Again, it comes here, there, and over there. This is how I chose to close it in. It doesn't really matter. I went ahead and used the wood theme. Got a nice little sunroof for the chickens because we, of course, know that chickens would appreciate some sunlight. So now we're about ready to add our chickens in our water and get this finished up. I did go ahead and put some glass down here just because chickens might be able to jump up and get up here, and we don't want that. We want them to stay down where they're supposed to go. Okay, so now that that's done, this is where the chickens are going to be. There's our pistons that will fire to push the chickens down, and hopefully it will work. I've got a couple more wiring things to do here, and I'll be back after I have that done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add legs to this thing so that it looks like it's not just hovering over the ground. And sticking with the wood theme. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. We'll go with that for now. And see how that works. I tried some different things other than wood, but I didn't really like the way it looked. Tried stone. So we'll go with wood. And I have to have it a hollowed out part. You'll see over here, this is where I'm going to run my redstone torch up. It's going to power the piston. So I had to have some kind of legs here to make it work, and then also needed to be symmetrical as well. Yeah, I could have done the dark wood. That would have looked nice as well. Let's see, how many more of these do I have? Okay, we got enough. Okay, so we'll finish this up. Again, I think it might have looked better if I would have used the dark wood. I may go back and change it later, but this is good for now. Okay, so the layout is we're going to have the chickens fall down here, and then we're going to have a kind of a water slide for the chickens to slide down where we can then slaughter them. So it's a water slide of death. So let me finish a few things here and I'll be back with some more. Okay, so my OCD tendencies made me change this out. I thought it looked better with the dark wood. It kind of matches our border around the top. So I changed it out. Okay, so now we need to wire this. We've got a button here, redstone torch here, and we'll just go on up with, well, I guess it doesn't matter here. Redstone torch here, which that is going to power, go ahead and show you here. This up here. Alright. It's here someplace. Alright, let's go up top and have a look. Okay, so we can have, actually we can just have redstone on here. Let's see, that I can't remember if that is on or off. Yeah, okay, it's on. So we can't have that because we need to have it off. So, okay. I lost my axe here. Let's do this. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, we got it figured out. So there's our torch. We just need to run wire to the torch. When you click the button, this torch will power, which will then power our pistons. So we just couldn't have it on, because then the chickens wouldn't be able to hover over the hole. Hope that makes sense. I need to actually finish covering this up as well, because I don't plan on coming back here. Okay. Shut this off. Okay. And we need a dark wood here. And we need to take down our staircase too. Oh, you know what? Is that right? Why is this a white one? Whoops. That should be dark. Okay. Okay, that part is all done. Let's press our button here, see what happens. Okay, it's working. Now I just need to close this in and make our chicken slide. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is the chicken water slide that I've laid out. So chickens will come down here. Water's going to push them down here. Here's our on-off switch for the pistons. So that's all good. So all we need to do now is hop up top and place our water. Okay, so water buckets. Four buckets. One in this corner. One in this corner. One in this corner. Last but not least, you know what? I don't need that glass there. Okay, so if I can get around, there we go. One in that corner. Okay, so that's going to push us right over here. Alright. And we're going to have to extend that just a little bit, maybe. Might be partly because we have... There we go. Okay. So there's the water. Going to extend this out just a little bit. And then we're going to fill it up with chickens. Okay, I think we about got it done. Buttons over here. Water's flowing there. We have a little stairway to come up here. And a place to throw our chicken eggs in. So... and hopefully we'll get some chickens. I don't think we got one chicken out of that. That's pretty bad. Hey, there's a chicken. Come on, one more. Hate that when that happens. Okay. That didn't really work. Let's check this out, make sure that chickens are... he should be it. Yeah, there he is. Okay. So, okay, we got one chicken. Need to get some more chickens. But I think it's going to be working good. We're going to stock it with some chickens and check it out here in a little bit. and that's just a little bit of a SMP glitch with the mobs. He's still up there, even though it looks like he's floating down. He's not going to be able to come down. So we'll go get some more eggs, some more chickens, and be back. And hopefully we'll have it stocked enough that we can actually see it working. So, okay, as you can see, we have some eggs coming down, and we've got things stocked. So this part's working okay. I went ahead and rewired this because I didn't like having that so far back. So the button's up here now. The wire's going to run to this. The torch carries the signal up, so all we need to do now is just fill this in. Okay, and let's take a look up here. Okay, so there's the hole, there's the chickens. As you can see, they kind of hover around it because of the we're on the SMP, so it's going to have some glitchy mobs. But there's quite a few down there, so I've used a combination of breeding, going down and feeding them some wheat just to get things moving faster. But eventually they'll be producing enough eggs that you can just keep things flowing by throwing in eggs. But let's go ahead and give this a try and see how it works. Okay, that's it. So usually it sends 3, sometimes 2, and occasionally you will have some suffocation damage, but that was 2. The fuller it is, the more chickens you'll get, but that's how it works. So yeah, I kind of like the way it turned out. It's got a nice look to it, and it's a good way to keep the chickens flowing, and we all know how important chickens are. Okay, well, that'll do it for today. This is Parsuval, and glad you guys could watch. Hope you learned something. Thanks.